Welcome back, everybody. I hope you're doing well as usual. I just want to quickly let you guys know that I'm remaking a handful of the videos that I've previously recorded, mostly due to the fact that I have newer and better video editing software at my disposal, and I just want to refresh and implicate these new tools. So, with that being said, let's jump straight into this video and talk about enlightenment. Now, enlightenment is one of those spiritual concepts that tends to be shrouded in mysticism and loaded with all types of exotic meanings and connotations. In fact, it's words like samadhi, awakening, and enlightenment that tends to draw in a specific crowd to the spiritual path. We hear people in spiritual circles throwing around these concepts, and we think to ourselves, wow, whoever's experiencing or whoever's enlightened or in a state of samadhi must be experiencing or having some sort of magnificent outcome that I myself will never achieve in this lifetime. Now, it needs to be understood that enlightenment is not an extraordinary or mystical experience or achievement that is reserved for mystics, sages, gurus who've been meditating in a cave in the mountains for X amount of years or balancing and aligning their chakras. You see, enlightenment is not an event or an achievement that takes place. It's actually just the simple recognition of the very essence of who we are. And recognition just simply means to remember. So we're not actually becoming anything in this path. If anything, we are unbecoming everything we thought ourselves to be. Enlightenment is when awareness untangles itself from the content of experience and remembers that it is awareness. So, in other words, we can say awareness becomes aware of awareness. And I will give you guys an analogy. One, because I like analogies. And two, they're pretty helpful when it comes to creating mental pictures in the head and making things clear. So let's use, for example, gold, and we'll relate gold to infinite consciousness because gold is often used to materialize and form other objects. Now, this gold seemingly divides itself into a multiplicity and diversity of objects, becoming a earring, a necklace, and a bracelet. Now, from the point of view from each one of these objects, they seem to be their own independent and discrete existing objects. But if we trace back each of these to their origin, we find out that it's not an earring, a necklace, or a bracelet. In fact, it's gold. And the whole time, all it is thought abstracting the form of the gold and labeling it earring, necklace, and bracelet. So when one of these objects begins to see clearly that it isn't separate from everyone and everything, then we can say that it has gained the recognition of enlightenment. The earring, the bracelet, and the necklace recognizes that it's gold. Now, in the same way, we can look at humanity in the same way. Most people feel and believe themselves to be this independently existing character in its own right. And at any point in time through this investigation, it can be seen clearly that you aren't this body mind, but in fact, you are infinite consciousness. Now, what does one have to do to gain this recognition? And it's very simple, actually. All we have to do is become curious about who we actually are and start asking ourselves questions like, who am I? Investigate this I, who I think I am. But I should make note that this recognition cannot cannot happen through intellectual or conceptual knowing. And what I mean by this is we can't just listen to Jay speak about who we are or listen or read a book by Ramana Maharshi or anything of that matter. This would be intellectual and conceptual knowing. We can't listen or read these things and say, oh, I heard or read that I'm awareness or consciousness, so I'm enlightened. This would be false. The recognition has to come through experience. We have to experience our true essence to truly say that we have gained the recognition of who we are. If we don't do it through an experiential way, then we're just allowing the mind to appropriate some fancy word and apply it to our ego. And furthermore, before I end this video, I would like to add that enlightenment is not the pinnacle of spiritual attainment, meaning once we have gained the recognition of who we are or had enlightenment, that doesn't mean the spiritual path is over. In fact, especially what I mentor in the direct path, enlightenment is actually what we start with. After we've gained this recognition, we still have a endless journey of integrating what it means to think, act, and relate as consciousness or awareness. It would be ignorance at its finest to think that there is an end to something that's infinite. I will just add my shameless plug here and say that if you are interested in having this recognition of enlightenment or knowing who you are through direct experience, that as usual, you can find my Instagram handle down in the description below where you can contact me directly, or my You Can Book Me link where you can schedule a 40-minute Zoom conference call with me. And I will go in as much detail as I can and answer any questions that you may have. So, with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video or at least found it helpful. And if you did, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button. Remember to keep your heart open and stay present. I'll see you in the next one.